You're not alone. Millions of people around the world wake up each morning, set powerful intentions, and go to sleep disappointed, wondering why the gap between their dreams and reality keeps widening despite their best efforts. It's like standing at the edge of a vast ocean, desperately calling out, but hearing nothing but the echo of your own voice returning. Have you ever whispered your deepest desires to the universe, only to feel like your words are vanishing into thin air? That crushing sensation when you've tried everything, visualization, affirmations, vision boards, yet your reality remains stubbornly unchanged, as if the universe has put you on permanent hold. What if I told you that the reason you feel lost isn't because the universe isn't listening, but because you've been speaking a language it simply doesn't understand? The truth is, there's a fundamental difference between those who effortlessly manifest their desires and those who remain trapped in cycles of hope and disappointment. And it's not what most manifestation teachers are revealing. Has this ever happened to you? You create the perfect morning routine filled with positive affirmations. You visualize until you can almost touch your desires. You do everything right. Yet weeks later, nothing has changed. Perhaps things have even gotten worse, as if the universe is testing your resolve, or worse, ignoring you completely. Stay with me, because today I'm going to reveal something so simple yet so profound that it might completely transform your relationship with the universe. This isn't about trying harder or adding more spiritual practices to your already busy life. What you're about to discover might shock you, especially if you've been studying manifestation for years. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. The secret lies in 3 simple words that can instantly shift you from feeling hopelessly lost to being divinely guided. Words that create an immediate energetic shift so powerful that the universe has no choice but to respond. This isn't about asking nicely or hoping desperately. It's about accessing a forgotten power that has been your birthright all along. The disconnection you feel isn't because you're doing something wrong. It's because there's been a crucial piece missing in everything you've learned about manifestation until now. Most of us have been taught to approach the universe as supplicants, begging, pleading, hoping for scraps of abundance from a seemingly indifferent cosmos. But what if this approach is precisely why you remain feeling lost? What if the universe isn't ignoring your pleas, but is actually waiting for you to stop pleading altogether? Think about this for a moment. Have you been asking the universe to respond, or have you been commanding it with the authority that is your divine right? The revelation that changed everything for me came during my darkest hour, when I discovered that the universe doesn't have ears to hear your requests. It has energy receptors that respond only to certainty. And these 3 words I'm about to share with you contain the exact energetic frequency that transforms your relationship with manifestation forever. If you're ready to continue this journey of transformation with me, hit that subscribe button now. I share powerful techniques most teachers never reveal. These 3 words, "It is done," hold the transformative power that most seekers miss entirely on their manifestation journey. When spoken with genuine conviction, these simple words create a quantum shift in your energetic field that the universe cannot ignore. This isn't positive thinking or wishful hoping. It's a declaration of completion that operates on an entirely different vibrational frequency. Think about that manifestation gap you've been experiencing, that frustrating space between your intentions and your reality. You've done everything the experts suggested. Vision boards carefully crafted with images of your dream life, affirmations repeated faithfully each morning, meditations visualizing your desires in vivid detail. Yet weeks or even months later, your bank account tells the same story. your relationships remain unchanged, and that breakthrough seems as distant as ever. The hidden truth behind this gap isn't about technique or effort. It's about the fundamental energy you're broadcasting to the universe. When you say, "I want," or "I hope to attract," or even "I am manifesting," you're actually transmitting a frequency of absence, a signal that says, "This thing is not yet mine." And the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, simply reflects that absence back to you with flawless precision. This revelation transformed my entire understanding of the manifestation process during my darkest moment of despair. I realized I'd been approaching the cosmic forces like a beggar with an empty bowl, rather than a creator with inherent authority. The paradigm shift happens when you grasp that the universe doesn't respond to requests. It responds to commands issued with unwavering certainty. The journey of transformation begins at this pivotal crossroads, moving from the mindset of asking to the mindset of claiming. When you declare "it is done," you're not forecasting a future possibility. You're acknowledging a present completion. You're stepping outside linear time and accessing the quantum reality where what you desire already exists in its finished form. Most manifestation teachings completely miss this crucial distinction. They position abundance as something you'll hopefully attract someday if you visualize enough, rather than something you command into being through the authority of your consciousness. This shift represents the most profound revolution in your relationship with universal forces. Now, I want to go even deeper into why these three words work with such remarkable power when spoken with authentic alignment. What happens physiologically and energetically in your body when you make this declaration from a place of genuine knowing rather than desperate hoping? The difference is both subtle and revolutionary. When you're trapped in the wanting mindset, your nervous system remains in a subtle stress response. Your body chemistry aligns with seeking rather than having. But the moment you genuinely embody the energy of "it is done," something transformative happens. Your shoulders relax, your breathing deepens, and a peaceful certainty replaces anxious striving. This bodily shift isn't just psychological, it's a measurable energetic transformation that the universe instantly recognizes. The frequency of completion operates as a magnetic force that physical reality rushes to match. This explains why two people can use identical manifestation techniques with wildly different results. If these revelations are awakening something deep within you, something that feels like remembering rather than learning, type "I command" with certainty in the comments below. This journey of reclaiming your creative authority has only just begun. What most people fail to recognize is that the universe operates on precise, immutable laws that function with mathematical certainty, just like gravity. Gravity doesn't care if you believe in it or understand it. Jump off a building and you'll experience its effects regardless of your opinion about it. The law of manifestation works in exactly the same way, with the same unwavering precision. This revelation completely transforms your relationship with the cosmic forces that govern reality creation. You're not trying to convince the universe to grant your wishes. You're simply learning to align with laws that have been operating perfectly since the beginning of time. This mindset revolution represents one of the most profound awakening moments on your spiritual journey. Think about the fundamental difference between asking and commanding. When a child asks for something, there's an inherent uncertainty. They recognize that the answer might be no. But when a king issues a command, there's no question about the outcome. It's simply a declaration of what will be. This decisive certainty carries a completely different energetic signature. The universe, with its intricate web of quantum possibilities, responds only to this signature of certainty. This explains the mystery of why two people can repeat identical affirmations with radically different results. One person speaks from hope mixed with doubt, while the other speaks from a place of unshakable knowing. The universe doesn't hear their words, it feels their frequency. This revelation brings us to the hidden truth behind the transformation process. Most people have been unconsciously working against these universal laws rather than with them. They've been asking timidly when they should be commanding boldly. They've been hoping anxiously when they should be knowing peacefully. They've been broadcasting the frequency of absence when they should be embodying the frequency of completion. The breakthrough happens when you recognize that these laws aren't personal. The universe isn't testing you or making you prove your worthiness. It's simply responding with perfect precision to the energetic broadcast you're transmitting. When you declare, "It is done," from a place of authentic alignment, you're not trying to bend universal law. You're finally working in harmony with it. Consider how this principle operates in your daily experiences. Have you noticed how some people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities, connections, and resources? They're not luckier or more deserving than you. They've simply, whether consciously or unconsciously, aligned their energetic signature with the frequency of having rather than wanting. Their command center has been recalibrated from pleading to proclaiming. The decision point in your own manifestation journey comes when you recognize that you've been unknowingly sabotaging your results by working against these immutable laws. The path forward isn't about learning more techniques or adding more spiritual practices to your routine. It's about fundamentally altering how you communicate with the quantum field of infinite possibilities. Now, I want to reveal something profound about the hidden psychology behind manifestation that explains why so many spiritual seekers remain trapped in cycles of hope and disappointment despite their best efforts. This insight will completely transform how you understand the manifestation process at its core. If you're recognizing how you've been unknowingly working against universal law rather than with it, write "I align" with certainty in the comments below. The power of "it is done" extends far beyond the three simple words themselves. These aren't magical incantations or secret codes that trick the universe into compliance. They're energetic triggers that create an immediate and profound shift in your vibrational signature, a shift that the universe is programmed to recognize and respond to with absolute precision. When you speak these words from a place of genuine authority rather than desperate hoping, you literally alter the electromagnetic field around your body. Scientists have documented that human emotions create measurable changes in our electromagnetic field. Fear, anxiety, and uncertainty emit one frequency pattern, while certainty, peace, and completion broadcast an entirely different signature. The universe, being fundamentally energetic in nature, responds not to your vocabulary, but to this invisible broadcast that emanates from your entire being. This principle of energetic command hasn't been hidden from humanity. It's been demonstrated throughout history by the most extraordinary achievers in every field. Look closely at any visionary who has transformed their reality in seemingly miraculous ways. Whether consciously or unconsciously, they operated from this fundamental stance of certainty rather than hope. When Thomas Edison declared he would create the light bulb despite thousands of failed attempts, he wasn't hoping. He was commanding with unwavering certainty. When Martin Luther King Jr. proclaimed, "I have a dream," rather than "I hope for a dream," he was accessing this same universal principle. The revelation here isn't that these individuals were special or chosen. It's that they naturally aligned with laws that are available to everyone. This pattern of commanding reality rather than requesting permission appears consistently across cultural boundaries, time periods, and disciplines. The most pioneering entrepreneurs, inventors, artists, and leaders throughout history have embodied this energetic signature of completion before physical evidence appeared in their reality. They made decisions from their vision rather than their circumstances. A subtle but revolutionary distinction. The breakthrough in your own journey comes when you recognize that this isn't about mimicking the words of successful people. It's about embodying the energetic frequency they naturally broadcast. When you say, "it is done" with your lips, while your energy communicates doubt, you're sending mixed signals that cancel each other out. But when your entire being aligns with the certainty of completion, you create an energetic coherence that becomes irresistible to the quantum field. This revelation transforms how you understand the manifestation process at its core. You're not trying to attract something new from outside yourself. You're aligning with what already exists in potential form, commanding it into physical expression through the authority of your consciousness. This represents one of the most significant paradigm shifts possible in your spiritual evolution, moving from the mentality of seeking to the mentality of claiming. Now, I want to explore how this energetic signature shift creates a fundamental transformation in your everyday experience, how it reshapes not just your thoughts about abundance, but your entire neurological and physiological relationship with reality creation. If you've recognized how the most successful people throughout history have embodied this principle of commanding rather than requesting, write "I claim my creative power" in the comments below. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and, in those precious moments between sleep and full wakefulness, feeling an unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours. Not hoping it might manifest someday, not anxiously wondering when it will appear, but experiencing the peaceful certainty that it's already complete in the realm of infinite possibilities. This morning mindset creates a fundamentally different trajectory for your entire day and ultimately your entire life. When you begin each day from this elevated state of consciousness, your decisions, conversations, and perceptions naturally align with this certainty. You move through the world differently. Your posture changes. Your voice carries a different resonance. Your energy field broadcasts a completely different signature. This isn't pretending or engaging in elaborate visualization. It's embodying a higher truth that exists beyond your current circumstances. Subscribe now to join our community of conscious creators and receive more life-changing insights that will help you command your reality with certainty. This morning ritual of certainty creates a powerful foundation that reshapes your entire relationship with reality creation. Rather than starting each day scanning for what's missing or wrong, you're anchoring into the frequency of completion before your feet even touch the floor. This single shift in your morning consciousness creates ripple effects that transform every aspect of your day. But here's where most people sabotage their manifestation process without even realizing it. They use the language of lack throughout their daily conversations, thoughts, and prayers. Every time you say, "I want," "I need," "I hope to get," or "I wish I had," you're actually broadcasting the frequency of absence to the universe. You're telling the quantum field, "This thing is missing from my life." And the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, simply reflects that absence back to you with flawless precision. This unconscious language pattern creates one of the most significant blocks in the manifestation journey. Your words aren't just descriptions of your reality, they're architects of it. When you declare, "I want financial freedom," the universe doesn't hear the object of your desire. It hears and responds to the frequency of wanting, which is fundamentally a broadcast of lack. The transformation begins when you recognize this subtle but critical distinction and begin shifting your language patterns from requesting to commanding, from begging to declaring, from hoping to knowing. Instead of saying, "I want abundance," you declare, "Abundance flows to me now." Instead of, "I hope to find love," you proclaim, "Love surrounds me completely." This isn't wordplay or semantic games, it's a fundamental recalibration of your energetic broadcast. This revelation brings us to one of the most powerful mindset transformations possible on your spiritual journey. Most people have been approaching the universe as supplicants, children hoping for permission or blessings from some higher authority. But what if your relationship with the universal forces isn't supposed to be one of subordination, but of partnership? What if you were designed to command rather than request, to declare rather than plead? The decision to shift from the language of lack to the language of completion represents a profound evolutionary leap in consciousness. It's reclaiming your power as a conscious creator rather than remaining a passive recipient of whatever circumstances happen to come your way. The universe has been waiting for you to step into this role since the moment you were born. Now, I want to reveal how this commanding energy creates a fundamental restructuring in your nervous system and thought patterns, transforming not just what you say, but who you become in the process. If you recognize how your language has been unconsciously reinforcing lack rather than abundance, write, "I speak with creative power," in the comments below. When we talk about genuine transformation, we're not looking for elaborate theories or complex spiritual practices that fill time, but produce minimal results. The most profound shifts in consciousness come from direct, powerful truth that cuts straight to the core of what actually works. That's why I'm committed to delivering these principles with crystal clarity, without the fluff and filler that often dilutes spiritual teachings. The potency of transformation lies not in how much you know, but in how deeply you embody the essential truth. This brings us to one of the most frustrating experiences on the manifestation journey, repeating traditional affirmations faithfully, only to see no measurable change in your circumstances. You've likely stood in front of your mirror countless mornings, declaring phrases like, "I am rich," "I am abundant," or "money flows to me easily," only to check your bank account weeks later and find the same financial reality staring back at you. This pattern creates not just disappointment, but a creeping doubt about whether manifestation principles work at all. The revelation that transformed my own journey was discovering that affirmations themselves aren't broken. It's how we've been taught to use them that's fundamentally flawed. When you repeat, "I am rich," while your energy field is broadcasting scarcity, you're creating an internal conflict that the universe cannot reconcile. Your words are saying one thing, but your frequency is saying something entirely different. And in this energetic dissonance, your frequency always overrides your words. This insight illuminates why two people can practice identical affirmations with dramatically different results. One person speaks from a place of desperate hoping, essentially begging the universe for change. Their words say abundance, but their energy screams lack. The other person speaks from quiet authority, from the peaceful certainty that what they're declaring is already complete in the quantum field. Same words, entirely different energetic signatures, and the universe responds to the signature, not the syllables. The breakthrough happens when you recognize that manifestation isn't about perfect phrasing or memorizing magical sentences. It's about achieving energetic coherence, alignment between your words, thoughts, emotions, and subconscious beliefs. When you declare it is done, while genuinely feeling the peaceful certainty of completion, you create a unified energetic broadcast that the universe naturally mirrors back to you in physical form. This understanding transforms affirmations from empty words into powerful declarations that actually reshape your reality. The critical shift occurs when you move from reciting phrases you're trying to believe to simply acknowledging what you recognize is already true on the deepest level. This isn't positive thinking, it's energetic alignment with a higher reality that already exists in potential form. Now, I want to explore the fascinating neuroscience behind this principle, how your brain actually cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced, and how this biological fact becomes one of your most powerful tools in the manifestation process. If you've experienced the frustration of repeating affirmations without seeing results, write "ready for energetic alignment" in the comments below. Have you ever noticed how you can sense when someone doesn't believe what they're saying? Even if their words sound confident, there's a subtle discord that you can feel intuitively. This same principle operates in your relationship with the universe. When you recite affirmations while doubt, fear, or unworthiness runs beneath your words, you create an energetic dissonance that the universe immediately perceives. Words without energetic alignment are essentially empty sounds vibrating in the air. They carry no manifestation power because they lack the authentic frequency that creates reality. This revelation transforms your entire approach to the manifestation journey. Think about the last time you declared an affirmation like, "I am wealthy," while your bills sat unpaid on your desk. Did you feel that internal resistance, that subtle voice whispering, "That's not true"? That contradiction between your words and your energy creates a split frequency that cancels itself out before it even leaves your energy field. The hidden truth that most manifestation teachers miss is that the universe doesn't respond to your vocabulary. It responds to your vibrational signature, the energetic broadcast that emanates from your entire being. This signature is composed of your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and expectations, all blended together into a unique frequency that the quantum field immediately recognizes and mirrors back to you with perfect precision. When your vibrational signature truly matches what you're commanding, the universe doesn't have the option of ignoring you. It's not making choices about whether to grant your wishes. It's simply following the immutable law of resonance, where like attracts like with mathematical certainty. This understanding removes the element of chance or luck from your manifestation journey and places you firmly in the director's chair of your own experience. The breakthrough moment comes when you realize that your job isn't to perfect your affirmations or visualization techniques. It's to achieve authentic alignment between your declaration and your energetic broadcast. This alignment creates a coherent signal that cuts through the noise of collective consciousness and communicates directly with the universal forces that shape reality. This principle explains why sometimes your smallest, most casual manifestations appear instantly while your deeply desired intentions seem perpetually out of reach. When you casually think, "I'd love to find a parking space without attachment or doubt," you're naturally in alignment. But when you desperately affirm, "I need this promotion," while fear of rejection courses through your system, you're broadcasting conflicting frequencies that cancel each other out. The journey of transformation isn't about forcing yourself to believe affirmations that feel untrue. It's about finding the place within you where certainty already exists naturally and speaking from that authentic space of knowing. When you declare, "It is done," from this centered place of peaceful confidence, you create a harmonic resonance between your words and your energy that becomes an irresistible command to the universe. Now, I want to explore how this understanding of energetic alignment creates a fundamental restructuring in how you approach the manifestation process, moving from the exhausting effort of trying to convince yourself of something to the peaceful power of simply recognizing what's already true at the deepest level. If you felt that inner contradiction between your words and your energy when using affirmations, write, "Alignment is my new priority" in the comments below. This is where most people unwittingly sabotage their manifestation process. They send mixed signals to the universe, creating an energetic contradiction that cancels out their desires before they can materialize. You might affirm abundance with your lips while your body tenses with the stress of scarcity. You might visualize your dream home while anxiety about your current rent payment churns in your stomach. You might declare, "It is done," while your energy whispers, "But what if it's not?" These mixed signals create what quantum physicists might call wave interference, two conflicting frequencies that meet and cancel each other out. This is why you can faithfully practice manifestation techniques for years while seeing minimal results. It's not that the universe isn't listening, it's that you're broadcasting on two contradictory channels simultaneously, creating static rather than clarity in your energetic transmission. The revelation that transformed my own journey came when I recognized that most people's conscious desires represent only about 5% of their total energetic broadcast. The remaining 95% comes from subconscious programming, emotional patterns, and habitual thought cycles that often directly contradict what they're consciously affirming. The universe responds to the dominant frequency, not the conscious intention. This illuminates the hidden energetic key that most manifestation teachers completely overlook: the power of congruence. When your conscious declaration aligns perfectly with your subconscious beliefs, your emotional state, and your energetic frequency, you create a unified broadcast that cuts through the noise of collective consciousness with laser-like precision. This congruence transforms ordinary words into powerful commands that the universe must obey. Think about those rare moments in your life when you absolutely knew something was going to happen. Perhaps you were certain you would get a particular job or connect with a specific person. That unshakable knowing created a different energy than hoping or wishing, didn't it? There was no internal division, no split frequency, just a quiet, peaceful certainty that eliminated all doubt without effort. That's the exact state of congruence that "it is done" helps you access consistently and intentionally. The journey from mixed signals to energetic coherence represents one of the most significant evolutions in your manifestation practice. Rather than trying to overpower your doubts with louder affirmations, you learn to create authentic alignment between all aspects of your being, bringing your subconscious beliefs into harmony with your conscious intentions, aligning your emotional state with your verbal declarations, and calibrating your energetic broadcast to match your highest desires. This shift moves you from the exhausting effort of trying to manifest against internal resistance to the peaceful power of creating from complete congruence. It's the difference between pushing a boulder uphill and standing at the top of the mountain, simply releasing it to roll down naturally. One requires constant strain and produces minimal results. The other harnesses natural law and creates momentum without effort. Now, I want to explore exactly what happens in your nervous system and energy field when you achieve this state of perfect congruence, the physiological transformation that occurs when you move from divided intention to unified command. If you've recognized how mixed signals might be creating interference in your manifestation process, type "I choose energetic coherence" in the comments below. One of the most transformative revelations on this journey comes when you truly understand that words themselves have no inherent power. Think about it like music for a moment. The same exact notes played without passion or conviction feel hollow and mechanical. But when those identical notes are infused with emotion and intention, they can move you to tears, transport you to different emotional landscapes, and create profound experiences that transcend the notes themselves. Your communication with the universe works in precisely the same way. The words you speak are just the notes. It's the energy signature behind those words that creates the symphony of your reality. This explains why mechanical repetition of affirmations often produces minimal results. You're playing the notes without the passion that gives them power. You're reciting syllables without the energetic resonance that makes them commands. This insight revolutionizes how you understand the manifestation process. It's never been about finding the perfect phrases or magical incantations. It's always been about the authentic energy you infuse into whatever words you choose. When you declare "it is done" with genuine conviction, you're not just speaking 3 words. You're broadcasting a frequency of completion that the quantum field immediately recognizes and responds to. The breakthrough moment in my own journey came when I realized that the universe doesn't have ears. It has energy receptors. It's not listening to your words. It's feeling your broadcast. This explains why visualization often works better than verbal affirmations for many people. Images carry emotional energy more directly than words, bypassing the analytical mind and creating a purer frequency for the universe to receive. When you whisper your desires with trembling uncertainty, hesitation, or a sense of unworthiness, those vibrations override whatever words you're using. You could be saying, "I am wealthy," while your energy is broadcasting, "I don't really believe this is possible for me." And the universe always responds to the stronger signal, the dominant frequency you're emitting. This understanding transforms your approach to the entire manifestation process. Rather than focusing on perfecting your verbal declarations, you begin paying attention to the quality of energy behind those words. You recognize that a simple "thank you," spoken with genuine gratitude and certainty, carries more manifestation power than 1,000 perfectly crafted affirmations recited with doubt. The journey toward mastery lies in developing your sensitivity to your own energetic broadcast, learning to feel when you're in alignment and when you're in contradiction. This internal calibration becomes the foundation of your manifestation practice. You begin to recognize the subtle difference between speaking from hope mixed with fear versus speaking from peaceful certainty. One creates interference patterns, the other creates coherent commands. Now I want to explore a fascinating aspect of manifestation that most people completely miss: why setting your intentions at a specific sweet spot in terms of expansion actually accelerates the manifestation process dramatically compared to either smaller or larger targets. If you've recognized how the energy behind your words is far more important than the words themselves, share "energy speaks louder than words" in the comments below. There's a fascinating phenomenon in manifestation that I call the quantum sweet spot of intention setting. When you're commanding something into your life, there exists a perfect calibration point that dramatically accelerates the manifestation process. Set your target too small, like $500 or even $5,000. And it doesn't require a significant shift in your belief system or identity. Your life doesn't fundamentally change, so your subconscious doesn't engage fully in the transformation process. But set your target too enormous, like $50 million, and most people's internal resistance kicks in so strongly that manifestation becomes nearly impossible. Your subconscious instantly flags it as unrealistic and begins generating evidence to support that conclusion, creating an uphill battle against your own internal mechanisms. The revelation that transformed my own journey was discovering this sweet spot of manifestation. Targets large enough to create excitement and meaningful transformation in your life, yet still within the realm of possibility for your current belief system. This calibration point creates the perfect balance between stretch and belief that accelerates the manifestation process exponentially. Think about what happens when you set an intention in this sweet spot. There's enough expansion to activate your creativity and problem-solving capabilities, enough significance to engage your full attention and emotional investment, but not so much stretching that your subconscious mind goes into protection mode and shuts down the process entirely. This delicate balance point is where manifestation thrives. This insight leads us to perhaps the most profound revelation about the entire manifestation journey. It isn't actually about attracting things to you from the outside. It's about becoming the version of yourself who naturally magnetizes this level of prosperity. This identity shift represents the most significant transformation in the entire process. Most people approach manifestation as something they do rather than someone they become. They see it as a series of techniques to attract external circumstances into their lives. But the breakthrough occurs when you recognize that true manifestation happens through a fundamental identity transformation, shifting from the person who hopes to attract abundance to the person who naturally embodies it. When you declare "it is done" with authentic conviction, you're not just placing an order with the universe, you're stepping into the identity of someone for whom this level of abundance is natural, expected, and completely aligned with their self-concept. This inner journey of becoming represents the most powerful aspect of manifestation that most teachings completely overlook. Think about how a genuinely wealthy person moves through the world. They don't wake up each morning desperately affirming prosperity. They simply live from the quiet certainty that abundance is their natural state. They make decisions differently, carry themselves differently, and interact with money differently, not because they're trying to manifest abundance, but because abundance is already woven into the fabric of their identity. The revolution in your manifestation practice happens when you shift from trying to attract prosperity to simply embodying it, making the internal adjustments in your self-concept, your beliefs, and your energy first, knowing that the external circumstances must follow as a natural consequence of this inner transformation. Now, I want to reveal what happens when you make this identity shift and begin approaching the universe not as someone seeking freedom, but as someone already experiencing it at the deepest level of your being. If you're beginning to recognize that manifestation is more about who you become than what you do, write "I am the embodiment of abundance" in the comments below. When we talk about commanding abundance into your life, there's a crucial revelation that transforms your entire relationship with manifestation. What you're truly seeking isn't actually the material possessions, the numbers in your bank account, or even the money itself. These are simply vessels for what you're really commanding into your experience: freedom, pure, unbridled freedom. This distinction completely revolutionized my understanding of the manifestation process. When you command abundance with "it is done," you're not actually focused on the numerical value of what you're calling in. You're commanding the liberation from fear, constraint, and limitation that allows you to live a fully expressed life. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and checking your accounts to find abundant resources there. What changes instantly isn't just your financial status, it's your entire relationship with life itself. That knot of tension that forms in your stomach when an unexpected bill arrives, gone. The hesitation you feel when considering whether to help a family member in need, vanished. The quiet dread that accompanies each swipe of your credit card, dissolved. Completely. This level of abundance represents a profound paradigm shift, the ability to make decisions based on what truly resonates with your soul, rather than what your limited resources dictate. It's about walking through life from a completely different vantage point, where your choices stem from inspiration rather than desperation, from expansion rather than contraction, from love rather than fear. The breakthrough moment comes when you connect emotionally to this freedom rather than fixating on the number itself. When you declare "it is done" while feeling the emotional signature of freedom rather than just thinking about money, you actually accelerate the manifestation process exponentially. The universe responds much more powerfully to the vibration of freedom than it does to the vibration of wanting money. This subtle but critical distinction transforms your entire manifestation practice. You begin commanding the essence of what abundance represents: the freedom to give generously without calculating the impact on your own security, the freedom to pursue what lights you up without worrying about immediate financial return, the freedom to rest when you need restoration without anxiety about productivity. When you attune your command to this deeper frequency of freedom rather than just material accumulation, you access a much more powerful current of creative energy. Your command becomes about liberating your authentic self-expression rather than just acquiring external symbols of success. This alignment with your soul's true desire for freedom creates a magnetic pull that accelerates manifestation beyond what most people believe possible. Now, I want to explore something that might completely transform your understanding of why manifestation has felt so challenging until now. The profound difference between needing money and commanding it, and how this energetic distinction changes everything about your relationship with abundance. If you're recognizing that what you truly desire is the feeling of freedom rather than just the numbers in your account, write "Freedom is my true desire" in the comments below. Here's one of the most profound insights that transform my entire relationship with abundance. Money is not attracted to people who need it. Money is attracted to people who command it. And there is a massive energetic difference between these two states of being that changes everything about your manifestation results. Need is essentially emotional scarcity broadcast at high volume. When you need money, you're transmitting a frequency of lack, desperation, and absence. And the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, can only reflect that lack back to you in your external circumstances. This creates the painful cycle that so many find themselves trapped in. The more desperately they need money, the more it seems to evade them. Command, on the other hand, is spiritual authority in action. It's standing in the unshakable, knowing that abundance is your divine birthright. Command doesn't plead or bargain with the universe. It simply declares what is already true in the spiritual realm and watches as physical reality aligns itself accordingly. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment with universal law. This revelation illuminates why many spiritual seekers remain stuck in financial struggle despite their best efforts. They're approaching the universe from a position of need rather than command, broadcasting desperation rather than certainty, pleading rather than declaring. The energetic difference between these approaches is immediately perceptible, not just to the universe, but to everyone and everything around you. Now, here's the breakthrough insight that most manifestation teachings completely miss. You cannot authentically command something you secretly believe you don't deserve. Your sense of worthiness must precede your words. This is the essential inner work that creates the foundation for effective manifestation. Without this foundation of self-worth, your commands will always carry an undercurrent of doubt that cancels their power. When I discovered this principle, it completely transformed my approach to abundance. I realized that before I could effectively command prosperity into my life, I needed to address the subconscious beliefs about my own value and deservingness that were creating static in my energetic broadcast. This recalibration of worthiness is not about inflating your ego. It's about recognizing your intrinsic value as a creative being with the divine right to abundance. This inner journey represents the most profound transformation possible, moving from someone who feels the need to justify their prosperity to someone who recognizes abundance as their natural state. When your worthiness precedes your words, when you speak from an unshakable foundation of self-value, your commands carry an authenticity that the universe immediately recognizes and responds to. The decision point in your own journey comes when you realize that no amount of external techniques, affirmations, or visualization practices can override a fundamental sense of unworthiness. The real work happens at this deeper level of self-concept, addressing the core beliefs that have been broadcasting limitation rather than expansion. Now, I want to reveal something that might completely reframe your understanding of why manifestation has felt so difficult until now. Why most people aren't failing at manifestation because they're doing something wrong, but because they're operating from an entirely incorrect paradigm. If you're beginning to recognize how your sense of worthiness affects the power of your commands, write, "My worthiness precedes my words," in the comments below. The revelation that changed everything for me was discovering that most people aren't failing at manifestation because they're doing something wrong. They're simply operating from an entirely incorrect paradigm. You're not lazy, you're not unspiritual, you're not being punished or overlooked by the universe. You've just been using the wrong rule book altogether. Think about this for a moment. From childhood, most of us were conditioned to ask permission, to hope for the best, to wish upon stars. We learned to be good, patient children, waiting for rewards to be bestowed upon us by authority figures. And unconsciously, we've transferred this exact same relationship dynamic to the universe. We've been treating the cosmic forces of creation like cosmic parents who might, if we're good enough, patient enough, or deserving enough, finally grant our wishes. This fundamental misunderstanding creates an energetic posture of waiting, hoping, and subtle begging that actually repels abundance rather than attracting it. It positions you as a child in the relationship rather than a co-creator with divine authority. This paradigm shift represents one of the most profound awakenings possible on your spiritual journey. The breakthrough moment happens when you realize this transformative truth. The universe isn't your parent, it's your servant. This mindset revolution isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about accurately understanding the mechanics of creation. The universe is an impersonal force designed to respond to commands, not wishes. It's programmed to obey orders, not evaluate worthiness. It mirrors back whatever energetic broadcast you're emitting with perfect precision. When you approach the universe with uncertainty, saying things like, "I hope this works," or "Please let this happen for me," you're essentially telling the universe to keep you in a state of hoping and asking rather than receiving. The universe doesn't judge these requests as good or bad. It simply reflects back the exact frequency you're transmitting. The catalyst for transformation occurs when you shift from asking to declaring, from hoping to commanding. This isn't just a semantic change in the words you use. It's a complete recalibration of your relationship with the forces of creation. It's moving from the energetic posture of a child to the energetic posture of a creator with divine authority. This awakening to your creative authority represents one of the most profound evolutionary leaps in consciousness possible. It's the moment you reclaim your power as a co-creator rather than remaining a passive recipient of life's circumstances. The universe has been waiting for you to step into this role since the day you were born. When you make this fundamental shift, manifestation stops being about trying harder or doing more spiritual practices. It becomes about embodying a different state of being, one where you naturally command rather than request, where you declare rather than hope, where you know rather than wish. This identity transformation creates a completely different energetic broadcast that the universe can only respond to with abundance. Now, I want to explore the 3 simple yet profound words that have the power to command what you desire into your life with absolute certainty. Words that, when spoken with the right energy, literally rearrange the quantum field around you. If you're feeling a resonance with this concept of moving from cosmic child to cosmic creator, write, "I command as creator" in the comments below. This awakening to your true identity as a creator rather than a victim represents the most profound transformation possible in your manifestation journey. When you operate from victim consciousness, you see yourself as subject to external forces, waiting for circumstances to change, hoping for blessings to be bestowed upon you. From this vantage point, manifestation becomes an exhausting process of trying harder, doing more techniques, and constantly seeking the missing piece that will finally make it work. But when you shift into creator consciousness, everything changes. Manifestation stops being something you do and becomes something you are. It's no longer about perfecting your visualization technique or repeating affirmations with more conviction. It becomes about embodying a different state of being, one where abundance is your natural signature rather than something you're desperately trying to attract. This identity transformation creates a completely different relationship with universal forces. You're no longer approaching the cosmos as a supplicant hoping for favor. You're standing in your divine authority as a conscious creator, working in partnership with the universe rather than subordination to it. This energetic posture broadcasts a frequency that the quantum field immediately recognizes and responds to. Now, I want to reveal the 3 simple yet profound words that have the power to command your desires into reality with absolute certainty. It is done. These 3 words might seem ordinary on the surface, but when spoken with genuine conviction, they create a subtle but unmistakable shift in your energy field that transforms your entire relationship with manifestation. Take a moment and say these words quietly to yourself right now. It is done. Did you feel that? There's a physiological response that accompanies true certainty, a quieting of the anxious mind, a settling in the body, a peaceful knowing that replaces the frantic energy of wanting. This subtle shift is actually your first clue that you've tapped into something profoundly powerful. These 3 words carry atomic-level energy when spoken from a place of genuine authority rather than hope. They aren't magical in themselves. The magic happens in the consciousness shift they create within you. When you declare, "It is done," you're stepping outside the conventional timeline where manifestation is something that happens in the future. Instead, you're aligning with the quantum reality where what you desire already exists. This represents a revolutionary departure from traditional manifestation approaches. Most methods position abundance as something you'll hopefully attract sometime in the future if you do enough visualization exercises or recite enough affirmations. But it is done operates on an entirely different principle. It's not about attracting something new, but aligning with what already exists in the field of infinite possibilities. When you say, "It is done," you're not expressing a wish for the future. You're making a declaration about present reality. You're communicating to the universe in its native language, the language of completion and certainty. This is why these words create such immediate resonance within your energetic system when spoken with authentic conviction. Now, I want to go even deeper into why these 3 words work so powerfully when combined with the right mental imagery, revealing one of the most fascinating discoveries about human consciousness that transforms how we understand manifestation. If you're feeling that subtle shift, when you declare "it is done" with conviction, write, "I feel the shift" in the comments below. When you declare "it is done," something revolutionary happens in your relationship with time and possibility. Most people operate within a conventional timeline where manifestation is a future event, something they're hoping will eventually happen if they do enough spiritual work. But quantum physics reveals a profound truth that transforms this entire paradigm. Time isn't linear, and all possibilities exist simultaneously in what scientists call the quantum field. This revelation completely reshapes how we understand manifestation. When you declare "it is done," you're not predicting a future event or expressing a hope. You're acknowledging a present reality that already exists in quantum form. You're stepping outside the conventional timeline and aligning with the quantum reality, where what you desire is already complete, already manifest, already yours. This isn't metaphysical theory, it's supported by cutting-edge science. Quantum physicists have documented that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed. Your consciousness works in a similar way, collapsing infinite possibilities into specific experiences through your attention and expectation. When you declare, "It is done," with authentic conviction, you're essentially collapsing the quantum wave function around the reality you desire to experience. The insight that transformed my own journey came when I realized that "it is done" isn't future tense at all, it's present certainty. It's stepping into the version of reality where what you desire isn't coming, it's already here. This subtle but profound distinction changes everything about how manifestation works. You're not trying to make something happen, you're aligning with what already is. Now, I want to share a practical framework that will help you implement these principles with consistency and precision. I call it the CAPI formula, a simple, three-step approach that transforms these spiritual concepts into everyday practice. This framework emerged from years of studying what actually works in real-world manifestation, not just theory. The first element of the CAP formula is command. This is where you speak your desire as if it's already a done deal, not as something you're hoping might happen someday, but as something that's already handled at the spiritual level. Notice the fundamental difference between saying, "I hope I can attract abundance soon," versus "abundance is already mine." One statement broadcasts uncertainty and future orientation. The other emanates certainty and present completion. When you command with authentic authority, you're not trying to convince the universe of anything. You're making a declaration from your sovereign creative power. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment with how the universe actually functions. Creation has always worked this way. Just think about the creation stories from virtually every spiritual tradition where reality is spoken into existence through declarative commands, not tentative requests. The shift from "I hope this happens" to "it's already handled" represents a quantum leap in your manifestation power. It's moving from the energy of asking to the energy of knowing. This single shift changes everything about how the universal forces respond to you. If you're feeling a resonance with this quantum understanding of reality and the power of commanding with certainty, write "I align with quantum certainty" in the comments below. The journey of transformation begins with how you start each day. That's why the second element of the CAP formula, align, becomes most powerful when implemented as a morning declaration ritual. Those precious moments between sleep and full wakefulness represent a unique neurological state where your subconscious mind is extraordinarily receptive to new programming. Your brain waves are in an alpha or theta state rather than the beta state of normal waking consciousness, creating a direct pathway to the deeper mind that shapes your reality. Every morning, before your feet even touch the floor, before the analytical, skeptical, conscious mind fully activates, say to yourself with quiet authority, "It is done." What makes this morning practice so powerful is that you're reaching your subconscious mind when the veil between conscious intention and subconscious belief is at its thinnest. In this liminal state, your declaration plants seeds directly into the fertile soil of your deeper mind without encountering the usual resistance. Notice that in this morning ritual, you're not attaching your declaration to specific outcomes or dollar amounts. You're simply claiming the energy of completion as your dominant frequency for the day. This general declaration creates an energetic container that attracts specific manifestations aligned with abundance rather than scarcity. This seemingly simple practice creates a profound resonance that carries through your entire day. When you've made your declaration and aligned your energy with it being done, something fascinating begins to happen in your daily experience. You'll start receiving what I call inspired nudges. Subtle, intuitive prompts to take specific actions. These might be impulses to call someone you haven't spoken to in years, to explore a new idea, to attend an event you'd normally skip, or to research a topic that seems unrelated to your desire. The critical insight here is understanding the difference between forced action and inspired action. Forced action comes from anxiety and desperation, the frantic energy of, "I need to make something happen." This type of action often leads to exhaustion and minimal results because it's broadcasting a frequency of lack. Inspired action, by contrast, flows naturally from your declaration of completion. It feels less like striving and more like being guided. Your role in this cosmic partnership isn't to figure out how your desires will come to you. The how is the universe's department. Your role is to follow the breadcrumbs of inspiration when they appear. Remember, your declaration has opened doors in the quantum field, but your physical actions are what allow you to walk through those doors in the material world. These inspired nudges often appear in unexpected forms and may seem unrelated to your specific desire. The universe orchestrates possibilities through networks of connection that our linear minds couldn't possibly map out in advance. That seemingly random impulse to attend a community event might lead to the exact conversation that opens the pathway to your manifestation. That sudden interest in learning a new skill might develop into the opportunity you've been commanding. The wisdom lies in recognizing that these nudges aren't coming from desperation, but from alignment. They carry a different energy, a sense of rightness, a peaceful knowing, a subtle excitement that feels more like recognition than anxiety. Learning to distinguish between fear-based action and inspired guidance becomes one of the most valuable skills in your manifestation practice. If you've been experiencing these subtle intuitive prompts after declaring, "It is done," write, "I follow divine nudges" in the comments below. Now let's explore the third essential practice that completes the KP formula, permit, which is beautifully embodied through the practice of gratitude in advance. Before you go to sleep each night, take a moment to genuinely thank the universe for what you've commanded, as if it's already in your possession. Notice the precise language here. You're not saying, "Please let this come to me," or "I hope this manifestation works." You're expressing authentic gratitude for what you recognize is already yours in the spiritual realm and is now materializing in the physical world. This practice of advanced gratitude creates a profound neurological and energetic shift that transforms your relationship with manifestation. Neurologically, it trains your brain to search for and recognize evidence of abundance rather than scarcity. Energetically, it broadcasts the frequency of having rather than wanting. And the universe always responds to your predominant frequency. The revelation that transformed my own relationship with gratitude was understanding that it isn't just a nice spiritual practice, it's a powerful manifestation accelerator. Gratitude is the emotional signature of completion. When you feel truly grateful for something, you've energetically accepted it as yours. This acceptance creates a magnetic pull that draws the physical manifestation to you with remarkable speed. What's fascinating is how this practice begins reshaping your perception almost immediately. When you consistently express gratitude for your desires before seeing physical evidence, you'll start noticing abundant opportunities and resources that were always around you, but filtered out by your previous scarcity mindset. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that determines what you notice in your environment, begins highlighting pathways to prosperity rather than confirmations of lack. Now, I want to address one of the most damaging myths about manifestation and success, the belief that it must be difficult, that struggle equals virtue. This misconception has probably cost you more in lost abundance than any other single belief. We've been conditioned to think that financial success requires immense strain, sacrifice and suffering, that anything worthwhile must be painfully acquired. But look at nature for a moment. Does a flower strain to bloom? Does the sun struggle to shine? Do the tides fight to turn? No. There's an effortless grace to how the natural world operates. The oak tree doesn't chase the sunlight. It simply grows naturally toward it. The flower doesn't pursue bees. It attracts them through its natural fragrance and color. This revelation transforms your entire relationship with manifestation. What if the struggle you've been experiencing isn't a necessary part of the process, but actually an interference with it? What if your assumption that it must be hard is precisely what's making it hard? Those who manifest with remarkable ease are those who align with this natural principle. They stop pushing against the current and instead learn to flow with it. They recognize that while focused, intention is essential. Strained effort often creates resistance to the very thing you're trying to attract. The most profound shift happens when you realize that manifestation is more about allowing than achieving, more about becoming receptive than becoming aggressive. This isn't passive, it's actually the most powerful stance you can take. If you're realizing that your belief in necessary struggle might actually be blocking your manifestation flow, write, "I choose effortless abundance" in the comments below. This brings us to another transformative insight that reshapes how we understand success and prosperity. What most people attribute to luck is actually precise alignment with universal law. Have you ever known someone who seems to effortlessly attract opportunities, who always appears to be in the right place at the right time, who experiences coincidences that perfectly advance their journey? These individuals aren't experiencing random good fortune. They've mastered, often unconsciously, the art of calm certainty. When you observe these seemingly lucky people closely, you'll notice something fascinating. They walk through life radiating an energy that says, "It is done," while others are still caught in the frequency of desperate hoping and pleading. They don't beg the universe for blessings. They command them with quiet confidence. They don't chase opportunities. They magnetize them. The energetic difference between these two states is immediately perceptible. Desperation feels contracted, tense, and frantic. Aligned certainty feels expanded, peaceful, and grounded. One energy repels abundance. The other attracts it with precision. This distinction isn't just philosophical, it's practical. When you shift from desperately wanting prosperity to calmly knowing it's already yours, your decisions change, your conversations change, the opportunities you notice change. Your entire relationship with the material world transforms because your internal relationship with abundance has transformed. The journey from frantically chasing wealth to magnetically attracting it represents one of the most significant evolutionary leaps in consciousness possible. It's moving from the paradigm of struggle to the paradigm of flow, from the mentality of lack to the mentality of abundance. And this shift is available to you right now, in this moment, through the simple but profound declaration, "It is done." Now, I want to address a fear that often blocks people from fully embracing their prosperity. The subconscious belief that there's only so much abundance to go around. Many of us were raised with a scarcity mindset that whispers, "If I get more, someone else must get less." This zero-sum mentality creates an internal conflict where part of you desires wealth, while another part feels guilty for potentially taking from others. Let me liberate you from this limiting belief with a profound truth. Abundance is fundamentally unlimited. The universe operates from a principle of infinite expansion, not finite distribution. Your prosperity doesn't diminish anyone else's opportunity for prosperity. In fact, it actually expands the whole system. Think about it this way. When you light a candle from another candle, Does the original flame diminish? Of course not. It remains just as bright while creating more light in the world. Abundance works on precisely the same principle. When you command prosperity into your reality, you're not reducing the available pool of wealth for others. You're actually expanding the entire field of prosperity through your alignment with abundance consciousness. This revelation transforms how you approach the manifestation process. You no longer need to whisper your desires quietly or minimize your vision out of misplaced guilt. You can command boldly, command beautifully, knowing that your expansion serves the whole rather than depleting it. If you've recognized how your prosperity actually contributes to collective abundance rather than diminishing it, write, "My abundance elevates everyone," in the comments below. Here's something most people completely misunderstand about manifestation. When you declare it is done, you're not trying to convince the universe of anything. The universe needs no convincing. It's already programmed to respond to your energetic broadcast with perfect precision. The real transformation is happening within you. You're convincing yourself, recoding your own beliefs, perceptions, and expectations. Because once your inner world fully accepts something as true, your outer world must follow. This isn't metaphysical philosophy, it's psychological and neurological fact. Your subconscious mind creates your perception of reality through selective filtering. It highlights evidence that confirms your current beliefs while filtering out contradictory information. When you genuinely accept at the deepest level that abundance is already yours, your perception shifts to notice the opportunities, resources, and pathways that were always there but previously invisible to you. This inner acceptance creates a cascade of changes in how you show up in the world. Your posture shifts, your tone of voice changes, your decision-making transforms. You begin naturally taking actions aligned with prosperity rather than scarcity. These subtle shifts aren't superficial. They're the external manifestations of a fundamental internal transformation that makes abundance inevitable. Now, I want to share a powerful writing ritual that anchors these principles into your physical reality. This exercise has transformed the financial destinies of countless individuals when practiced with sincerity. Take a notebook, preferably one dedicated solely to your abundance work, and at the top of a blank page, write these 3 words 3 times. It is done, it is done, it is done. There's something mysteriously powerful about the act of writing by hand. Unlike typing, handwriting engages multiple brain regions simultaneously and creates neural pathways that digital communication simply doesn't access. When you physically write these words, you're not just recording them, you're embedding them into your neurology. After writing these 3 words, describe in vivid, sensory-rich detail how your life looks and feels now that abundance flows freely to you. Notice the crucial distinction here. You're not writing about how your life will be when abundance comes, someday in the future. You're writing as if it's already here, as if you're simply documenting your current reality. This subtle shift from future orientation to present acknowledgement creates a profound energetic alignment that accelerates manifestation. Describe how you feel waking up each morning, knowing your financial freedom is secured. Detail how your relationships have transformed now that money stress no longer colors your interactions. Explore how your physical environment has changed, what decisions you're making differently, even how your posture and breathing have shifted now that financial pressure has been released. This writing exercise does something remarkable. It creates a detailed blueprint that your subconscious mind begins working to materialize. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you've actually experienced and what you vividly imagined. When you create this detailed written account of your abundant reality, your subconscious begins reorganizing your perceptions, decisions, and actions to match this new blueprint. Now, I want to share something that might surprise you about manifestation, something observed consistently in those who manifest with extraordinary speed. The catalytic element that supercharged their results wasn't discipline, persistence, or even belief. It was something else entirely. If you've experienced the power of putting your thoughts on paper and witnessing them materialize in your reality, write, "My words create." My world in the comments below. The most surprising revelation about manifestation that I discovered through years of research is this. The catalytic element that supercharges results isn't discipline, persistence, or even unwavering belief. It's joy, pure, authentic joy. This insight transforms everything about how we approach the manifestation process. Joy isn't just a pleasant emotional state, it's the highest vibrational frequency you can embody, and it's profoundly magnetic to abundance. When you laugh genuinely, when you experience that bubbling sensation of delight without forcing it, you're telling the universe, "I trust you completely. I'm so certain everything is working out that I can fully relax into this moment." This signal of trust creates an energetic opening through which abundance flows naturally and effortlessly. Most people approach manifestation with such seriousness, such strain and intensity, that they actually create resistance to what they're trying to attract. They turn wealth creation into another burden, another source of pressure in their lives. But those who master the art of playful manifestation, approaching it with lightness, curiosity, and genuine joy, create a magnetic field that abundance cannot resist. Try this revolutionary approach. Instead of worrying about the how of your manifestation, laugh at the idea that you ever doubted your power to create what you desire. Find the genuine humor in your previous limitation. This isn't about forcing fake positivity. It's about liberating yourself from the heaviness of desperate wanting into the lightness of joyful knowing. When you begin seeing abundance not as something you chase, but as something that naturally comes when you're aligned with prosperity consciousness, your entire relationship with manifestation transforms. This perspective shift releases the struggle and replaces it with a peaceful certainty that accelerates manifestation beyond what most believe possible. Now, as we bring these principles together, remember that the words, "it is done," aren't just a manifestation technique or spiritual practice. They're a declaration of who you truly are at the deepest level, a creator, not a victim, a commander of reality, not a passive recipient of circumstances. When you speak these words with authentic conviction, you're not just trying to attract something external, you're reclaiming your divine birthright as a conscious creator. The journey from feeling lost to being found represents the most profound transformation possible. It's moving from the wilderness of uncertainty and limitation into the sanctuary of knowing and expansion. It's remembering a truth your soul has always known, but your conditioning has obscured. The words, "it is done," serve as a bridge between these two states of being, between feeling adrift in a sea of hoping and wishing to standing firmly on the shore of peaceful certainty. When you make this shift from feeling lost to this state of knowing, what seemed like miracles begin unfolding naturally in your experience. Synchronicities multiply, resources align, opportunities appear that perfectly match your desires. This isn't magical thinking, it's the natural consequence of aligning with universal law rather than fighting against it. If you've experienced moments where you shifted from feeling completely lost to suddenly remembering your true power as a creator, write, "I remember who I am," in the comments below. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to remember something powerful. The words, "it is done," aren't just a technique, they're a reminder of your natural state as a conscious creator. Every time you feel lost, disconnected, or uncertain, these three simple words can instantly reconnect you to the truth of who you really are. I create these videos because I've seen these principles transform lives, including my own, in ways that seem miraculous to outside observers, but are simply natural law in action. The journey from feeling lost to standing in your creative power is one of the most profound evolutions possible in human consciousness, and it's available to you in every moment through this simple declaration. If something in this message resonated deeply with you today, if you felt that subtle energetic shift we discussed, tap that like button, not for me, but as a declaration to the universe that you're stepping into this new level of consciousness. Your like becomes a physical gesture of alignment with these principles. I'd love to continue this journey with you. If you're not already part of our community of conscious creators, hit that subscribe button so we can explore these transformative principles together. Each week I share another piece of the prosperity puzzle, another key that unlocks a new level of abundance consciousness within you. If this message found its way to you exactly when you needed it most, write "Divine timing brought me here" in the comments below. I read every comment and love connecting with fellow creators on this path of awakening. There's a video right here that perfectly complements what we've discussed today. It reveals the hidden blocks that might be interfering with your "it is done" commands and how to dissolve them effortlessly. Click and continue with me over there, because your journey to commanding miracles into your life is just beginning. Remember, you were born to command blessings, not beg for them. And the universe is listening.